All right. There we go. Hey, sorry everybody. I do apologize for the delay and the late start. I had a hard time logging on for some reason or another, so I do apologize for you guys, man. I know some of you guys have been holding for a while. So anyway, I'm definitely on. I am out of town, so I at an Airbnb, so I had a problem with the internet, then connecting. Then once I got on, it wouldn't let me through, but finally I was able to get through. I did have the wrong code with the internet, so that is my fault. I do apologize to everybody for being late. I'm out of town, and you guys know how it is when you're out of town, and different internet connections and internet speed, and so I had the wrong internet connection. But in any event, finally got online, and thank you guys so much for your patience and understanding. Let's go to get this party started. This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers. Today is Monday, June the 6th of 2022. We want to talk about establishing your individual life. This is the first step for establishing your process. So one of the things you guys know that, I get that question a lot is like, where do I start? And we talk about this a lot because it is very important because there's so much information, we got so many different gurus and everybody's a little different. My approach is totally different because my approach is totally unique because it's based upon you. Simply meaning that your process, nobody on the planet has, so nobody can teach it. So I can't teach you your process. I can just tell you that your step-by-step process is based upon you establishing or activating your nerves. And your nerves, I'm going to use the word activate or control your verbs. So that's where you start. So today we want to start talking about that you don't need light, you are light. And it's very interesting because when especially now because I just, all weekend up there in Dallas with my daughter, and she's doing great, second location. But there is this vibe that's underneath. And I was talking with my daughter with the first location, and now we're opening up the second location. And when you take on more responsibility, there is more responsibility. So you have to be cautious or aware that you don't bite off more than you can chew, because what that does, that actually hinders you. So most people unknowingly sabotage their own success because it's like getting promoted. Most of us get promoted out of a job. So a lot of times you're in a job, you like it, you're comfortable, you're doing so good, your supervisor recognizes you, and then they promote you. So you were in a place where your purpose, your numbers were activated, but you get promoted out of purpose into a place where there is a problem because it doesn't use your process. So one of the things that I learned is that to stay on top, there's one thing to get on top. Then how do you stay on top? You stay on top by saying no. This is extremely important because it's one way. The first thing that we have to address today is how do we get on top, whatever your definition of on top. My definition of on top is just having more money than bills. I'm not really interested in the amount of money. It's just whatever the bills went, so prices go up, so that I'm only interested in my money going up. So I don't really get into the amount. I get into peace, like relationships. Ladies, do you know men don't marry beauty? We marry peace. There's a lot of beautiful women that I'll talk to and I've hung out with, but when I come home, there's drama. Now, drama could just be internal conflict that has nothing to do with you, but unfortunately, you don't get no cookie that night. Why? Well, she got some issues that she's working out between her and her mama, her sister, her daddy. It ain't got nothing to do with you, but it affects you. So, ladies, men, we like beauty and we like, big chi-chis and big padonki-donks, all that stuff. But I trade that in any day to come home to peace. And business is the same way. Money does not like chaos. Money does not like confusion. Money does not like singularity. That is the biggest thing, and this is the hardest thing on earth. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, I wrestle with this every day. I would be making a lot more money if I had started where I'm telling you guys to start. Dumb yourself down. Niche down. Don't niche up. Don't be the jack of all trades like I was and still am, because it's a lot difficult. People prefer specialists. It's interesting. A family doctor makes a lot less money than a specialist. If you are a neuroscience trauma surgeon, emergency room only, you make way more money than a general neurosurgeon. A neurosurgeon. So if you were a general practitioner, and as a general practitioner, because you are general, you don't make nowhere near as much money as a heart surgeon. Because a heart surgeon only works on heart. Nobody calls him except they got a heart problem. A general surgeon, you would think he makes more money because everybody calls him. But because he's general and he's generalized, there's no trust. And it's crazy because the people that I talk to and that I have a relationship with, I trust, so I buy from them. And ladies, I don't know, and men, I don't know if you know that women go through this thing where they test you without knowing it. Like, you could be in a relationship, and it's also in the business. All of my female clients, they unconsciously will do something to sabotage our relationship. If I wasn't an astute business person, I would take it personal. Now, ladies, it's very good that women do this, because what a woman is doing is she is testing whether or not you are who you say you are. My wife does it unknowingly. She'll just pull away. Wake up one day, she got attitude. I didn't do nothing. I said, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Family, something with the family? Nope. Kids? Nope. What's going on? I'm getting a solid treatment. Then my brain tells me, don't fall for it. Because what a woman does is intuitively. Business is the same way. So, but what most men do is they say, oh, baby, what did I do wrong? And they unknowingly push her away because they come across as thirsty. What the woman is seeing is if you are going to leave. She's testing you unknowingly to see if you're going to stay. It's because women need security. You can talk about a lot of other shit, and women talk about alcohol and all that. At the end of the day, can I trust you? Business is no different. So when people leave your program, they stop buying your course, that's the universe testing you just to see if you really are you. Meaning, people stop buying from you, your money starts going down. You haven't changed your marketing. You haven't changed anything in business. What's happening is that's the universe seeing if you are going to switch up and leave you and try to be something else, to come up with a gimmick to keep and try to get new customers. I see it in business all the time. So I've learned to stay in my lane. And it's extremely important because what happens is we all get pulled and we get suckered out of our lane because we are chasing gain. If you are chasing gain money, you're going to get pulled out of your lane. I see it all the time. And it's kind of sad because I see it like with my kids and in some of the counseling, especially with the younger generation, because most men, like I was talking with my daughter, my bonus daughter, and the relationship and the guy, and I'm like, he's acting real feminine. He's playing these mind games and he's doing stuff that when I was dating, women would do. But he's a guy. But most guys now take on feminine attributes and characteristics where they unknowingly, like I was asking, like, well, how come y'all not? He said, well, we're not talking right now. I said, well, what happened? The guy cannot tell why he's upset. He gets upset. I said, what? So he's not returning your calls and your texts right now. I'm talking to a young person, teenager. They say, yeah. I said, well, what did you do? Well, he don't know what I did. He can't tell me, or he's not telling me. I say, now I'm used to women doing that. And now with this new, skinny jean wearing generation, men are doing feminine social norms and hidden codes. Now, in the current generation's defense, it's kind of not their fault. Some of you guys saw the video floating around that scientist who came out with that chemical that's in all of the food that they put in that study with the frogs. They turned male frogs into female frogs. It's floating around TikTok. I've seen it, the videos, the black scientist, and he was talking about this particular, and I did a whole show on it. So it's kind of, it's in Mountain Dew with it and all of the food, fast foods. So it's kind of not men's fault because the testosterone level in 18-year-old boys now compared to men back in the 40s is 75% less. It's crazy because I'm thinking like, so when I talk to a black male, especially most black men today, now I see why, because they don't have testosterone levels. So when a young kid hears my show, or if I go to the gym and I see a young buck working out, and I'm looking at him, he's 18, and I'm lifting way more weights than he, and I'm looking at his build and his frame, the body structure is not even the same. Business, personal life, so wealth, health, wisdom, relationship, they're all the same. You are in an environment that is not conducive to your health. What are you going to do? Brothers and sisters, if you don't establish a process, the system, as I said, if you did not listen to the series that we did on life, so we just finished that series, and I included all of the intros, so it's like 10 hours, where we went through what I call the society of life. I like to use the word secret society because, again, people get their panties in the wall when they hear that word. All it simply means that you don't need light, you are light. Could you imagine if you one day figure out that instead of going out in the sun and sun gazing, your solar plexus inside the body creates the same frequency, waves, and vibration as the physical sun, which it does. So as the science starts to catch up with spirit, you will see that everything that you're doing outside the body normally produces inside. So there's already a process in place where you should be in a dream state, where there is a permanent, what they call, it's an unpredictable positive feedback dopamine loop, where dopamine is released unpredictable. It just happens, and it's built into your process. Remember, if there is a problem, that's an indication of a lack of a process. Process and problem cannot exist at the same time. So we're talking about two topics today. Number one, where do I start? Number two, when I say start, what do I do today to start moving in the direction of my God-given destiny? That's the first question. The second question is, I'm doing great, I'm doing okay. Like when I was talking to my daughter this weekend, what do I do to stay on top? I don't want to go to these leaks and valleys. Okay, what does Bezos do? Well, the dominant culture, they got generational wealth, so they have enough money in savings so that way they can weather the financial storm. So the dominant culture, when the interest rates go up, and inflation and prices like what's going on right now, it doesn't affect the dominant culture. Why? Well, they got generational wealth. They got enough money set aside that they can wait for 2 years. And if they don't make money for 2 years, they're still good. The average black family, we don't have generational wealth. We have maybe 3 months. So we can withstand a 3-month going without no money. But can you go 5 years with no income? Probably not. So how do you do? Well, what you got to do is you got to build up. So that way you are like Joe Bezos. You're like Bill Gates. You like Donald Trump. You like all the 1%ers. Otherwise, you're going to feel the crunch. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to establish a process, not a product. You do not need a product. You need a process. The process will produce the product, but most people, they try to establish a product before establishing a product or a audience. So your process of distribution is way more having what is called centers of excellence. A center of excellence means you control all systems. So the way that we do this spiritually is I buy from people I trust, and you buy from people you trust. My job is to build trust. How do we build trust? Firm, fair, and consistent. Of those three words, consistency. If I had to start over today, if I was broke, no money, no nothing, I would need an internet connection and a cell phone. And every day, 3 times a day, I would either post or go live. And I would build an audience based upon my verbs. I would talk about, I don't care what the market is doing. I would do no research. I would not get into any of the fads. I would not do anything that anybody else was doing. I would do what loves me, not what I love. If I had to start all over again today, I would start at the bottom. And I would do is I would look at my verbs. My verbs are, I'm a very creative communicator because I'm a 336. Everybody knows their life path number. This is the most important thing you should do today. Don't look at what's selling in the market because you're not going after somebody else's market. You're building your own market. It can never be taken from you because your market is the people who vibe with you. When you build a market of people who vibe with you, you have a tribe. You have a community. You have family. You got people that will fight for you. You got people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, how about that? You got. And so, the most important thing, brothers and sisters, is to bloom where you plant it. Now, remember, this goes totally against everything you've been taught. Totally against everything we've been taught because the market tells us, and it's counterintuitive, but when money dries up, when times get hard, guess what happens? People, they hang out with people they trust because guess what? My money is tight, so I can't take a risk. Now, with money flowing, everything's going good, I can take a risk and I see a Facebook ad and it's like I was doing a couple of years ago, man, I was buying stuff on Facebook. I'm still waiting on it. I bought something from this little ad, you see the gadget stuff and it said, oh, coming from China. I know I bought this, solar powered phone charger that sits in your car dashboard. It folds out. You sit and plug your phone up. And I knew it was kind of too good to be true. It was only like $9.95. My wife was like, you better not buy that. I bought it. I'm still waiting on it. Why? So what? It was only $10. If I got it, great. If I didn't get it, it's only $10. So I was doing stuff like that, man, like 5-6 times a month. I'm still waiting on all that stuff. Would I do that today? Hell no. Why not? Because it's a scam. So I'm willing to risk $10, 2 or 3 years ago, because, gas prices wasn't what they were. The real estate market wasn't upside down. Money wasn't getting, people wasn't getting like, the money was, hey, things was going good. Now, I ain't going to just give away $10. It's only $10, but shit, I can do great. That's a gallon of gas, 2 gallons. So what am I saying? Now, if Sister Diane Coleman is selling something, I buy from Sister Diane. Why? I've been knowing Sister Diane for 2-3 years now. So I know Sister Diane. So I'm going to do business with people that I trust when times, gets a little stringent. So everybody, what do you do today? Today you start building your tribe. Well, that sounds great, brother, but, we've done many shows on building tribe and verbs and, activating your nerves and blah, blah, blah. You know what all of that means, though? All that means firm, fair, and consistent. Now, if you worked in a supermax prison, it worked the whole time I was in law enforcement. It works in relationships. It works when I raise my children. They teach this at the FBI Academy. You can go to corrections. You can go to CCA right now. They teach it. Every major academy in the Marines, every major academy, they teach that. Firm, fair, and consistent. So I think it works since everybody does it. Now, what does that mean, though, firm, fair, and consistent? See, you should be able to tell me right now that I help people be blank. If you do not have that statement, then what happens is you don't have what's called a PowerPoint. You do not have an emotional trigger for monetization. So every day I put that trigger and I hide it in my TikTok videos. I hide it in today's show. I'm going to hide it in all my YouTube videos. I have people identify or find purpose. So I don't do nothing else. All I really do is do a community report. Everything else, all the wealth programs I do, when I 30 steps in 30 days, lose weight, that means nothing. Why? If you don't look in the mirror and love yourself, all the weight that you lose, that shit gonna come back faster than what you lost it. So am I interested in you losing 30 pounds in 30 days? No. Like today's show. Am I interested in you finding your process? No. Am I interested in you writing a book? No. Am I interested in you, writing a cookbook recipe? No. Am I interested in you, finding your dream man? You single, you want to get a man. Am I interested in you finding a man? No. Am I interested in you, becoming a better father? No. Am I interested in you getting saved? No. Am I interested in you becoming a Muslim? No. New car, house? No. Why? You get it, you're going to lose it. Why? You don't love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to do anything else? You can't do nothing if you don't love yourself. So that's what I do. I help people fall in love with themselves or elevate in love with themselves, period. Nothing else matters on this planet. So I have the best job in the world, except nobody knows how important what I do is. So I have a big conundrum. It's like if you walking around and you in pristine health, you have no idea that your right atrium is 75% blocked and clogged up. You live in your dream. You don't have a clue that your ass is 30 days away from a stroke or a major heart attack unless you go to a doctor. So people don't come to me because they got problems, but they don't think it has anything to do with their self-image. They don't think it has anything to do with their self-esteem. They have no clue that every problem on earth is the result of a self-image problem. Now, if I was to go into, look at the psychology behind it, it's like crazy. I cannot believe that every problem on earth can be traced back to a self-esteem problem. When I say every problem, brothers and sisters, I've done the research. If you haven't done the research, I highly recommend that you do the research. I was reading I was talking to, I forgot who it was. We was talking about migraines. And I remember this from back in the day. I didn't have to do the research even over the kid. Because remember, I tell you guys, I had a client who was raped in the military by 30 men. 30 days. She was out in the woods in Iraq, and she got jumped. 30 dudes ran through her. She was messed up. It made it worse. Her mom was a commanding general. She went, and the mom didn't even believe her. Could you imagine your own mama, who military as well, and technically over you, but she had to go along with the good old boys. And the good old boys was like, she's a woman, she's an all-male unit, she wanted it. Why would a woman join an all-male unit? I asked my wife the same thing. My wife was in the army. She was in an all-male unit out in the middle of the desert in Iraq. I said, what the hell was you doing out there? Why? I wouldn't let my daughter do it. My daughters all asked me to join the military. Hell no. But I was in the military. She had severe, I'm talking about rush to the emergency room, get morphine, migraines. You know that all from? Self-hate. Look at the cause is a lack of a proper self-image, a lack of self-esteem, a lack of self-love. If you look at the core frequency And I love the way it says with my boy, Dr. Henry Wright, in his book, A More Excellent Way, where he breaks down the emotional cause of every disease. And damn near self-rejection. Self-rejection is the number one cause of damn near every disease on earth. Because you reject yourself in many different ways, but what it does to the human body is manifesting all of these eases, all of these itises. So I teach self-acceptance. I do self-acceptance reports. I just give you so much of the attributes and characteristics inside of the book, 750 pages about you. But what do people do with it when they get it? The same as you did when you got yours. What did you do? You rejected it. How? What do I mean by rejected? Do I mean you get up and you read it and say, oh, that doesn't apply to me, doc, that's bullshit? No, that's not what you do. You read it and you put it right there next to your Bible. And it collects dust. Like right now, where's your Dear Canoe report? And nobody reads it. Because, doc, I can't pay my light bill with it. But if you understood, all my problems went away when I got self-esteem. Self-rejection is, man, because you will always do something for someone else before you do it for yourself. If you understood the psychology behind self-rejection is self-sabotage. I was talking to a client today. She was on her eighth relationship, brothers and sisters, 8. The dude that she just left was truck driver. He paid all the bills, bought her everything, paid her car note. All he asked is when he come home, she was gone mainly through the week. He was only home on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. He just asked he come home, be there for him, pick him up, at the lot, prepare his meals, take care of it. And during the counseling service, she was like, I ain't doing all of this. What you think I am? He needs a mama, not a wife. And I'm thinking to myself, now this was the 8th because I knew her history. So I knew she had already sabotaged because deep down inside, she don't believe she deserved to be taken care of like that. Because she, where was she from? She's from the hood. Single parent. Dudes disrespecting her all her life. She went through 8 golden dudes. Like, I can't believe that they was willing to do what they were doing. And this last one, I was like, you're no longer in need of my services. There's nothing I can do for you. I don't want to take your money anymore. But doc, I need your help because all these men that just done no good men, they're all dogs. I'm like, shit, you've had 8 good men. 8. And you sabotage each relationship. Every time a relationship start going good, but then I saw that if you research, talk to her about her mama, what she saw growing up, her mom did the exact same thing. See, when you convince yourself that you're not good enough, when you convince yourself that you're not good enough, failure is your only option. You will find a flaw. If not, you're going to create one. Guaranteed. I've been doing this shit for 30 years. This is the number one problem that you cannot be successful because the problem is not outside yourself. Nobody else. So the process, if people ask me, Doc, where do I start? Shit, start with yourself. Because when you look at this feeling of shame, sadness, grief, it's a feeling that we all carry that we're not 100% accepted by others. Why do you think there's so much, with the fake hair, fake airline, makeup? Now, trust me, brothers, I am not against women looking good. If they had if I could make myself look better, I'd do the same thing. And nothing wrong with that. But when you have to do that to feel, see, people don't understand exactly why they've been rejected. people just like me, I thought when my mama died, I was being rejected. That's why I did not allow my daughter Shamora died. I did not allow myself to experience a loss of self. The number one problem on earth, where should you start to build your $1 million business? You have to deal with your pain that says deep down inside, I'm not good enough. Your husband left, and so you think it has something to do with it. Ain't got shit to do with you. His inability to see yourself, your worth, and your value, that is not your problem. They fired you on your job, that's their problem, not yours. You see, brothers and sisters, there's an overall sense that is beneath the threshold of everybody's negative habit pattern and all of these coping mechanisms that we do to prevent us from actually expressing, exposing, and expanding ourselves so that when we draw, nobody should work. Everybody should just be. See, I just be, and I attract people. And it's interesting because some of my kids, like we just talked about, I hung out with my kids, grand opening, all my family was there, ex-wife was there, everything went great. So now I'm here to rent the whole RV, paying for everything. My wife, her mother and father, aunts, cousins and nephews, whole bunch of people, big ass house sitting here on the ocean. I'll be posting some Facebook pictures later on. So my children are like, Dad, why are you spending all that money on them? We your family. Now I know they mean well. Especially my oldest daughter, Sade, whom I just spent. So I got to remind Sade, you got 2 buildings in Dallas. Do you remember who paid for those? Do you remember when we was over in Flower Mound and good old boys? My black ass could have went to prison because that dude took 10 grand of my money and went got married. And who showed up at his house? So that his new wife was going to be my BITCH if I didn't find my money. The wall was up in a week. So I don't allow no language to put out my light. Some of you guys do. If you forget who you are, what you do, you think somebody else going to remind you? You better go back and remind yourself of yourself. Some of y'all have forgotten that you are begotten by the Father. Some of y'all have forgotten who you are. And you buying the press clippings about who you're not. You might want to go back and remind yourself of the significance of yourself. Some of you guys are letting people gaslight you and blow smoke up your butt to make you think you got to watch your kids, man. I know that I love my children, but come on, man. Now, I take food that people might because it was rough. This ain't right. When my daughter died, who you think they blamed? I had to process that. But my black ass wouldn't be here right now. I'd be dead if I could not process it. Because, hey, I'm the father. Exactly right. I took my time getting to where I am today. If I had got here faster, so I'll see the children, ex-wife, they looking at me like, well, if you wasn't with blank, if you wasn't spending time taking care of your second family, shit, you might have time to take care of your first one. Yeah, I heard all of that. Still do. What about my brothers and sisters? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Do you honestly think, remember my brother's a pastor. Do you know the shit I hear when he listens to my shows? Because y'all know I talk mad shit about Christianity. That's the wackest religion on the planet. Shit, I'd rather be a Satanist than a damn Christian. Now, I'm in a house right now full of Christians. My wife's mother and father right downstairs. And I'm up here talking shit. But guess what? I can back it up. Who paying for this? Come on, man. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop playing. Because people will try to make you feel Shit don't work on me, bro. Now, it may work on some of you low vibrational Cubans, but I purposely put myself in line there. Especially my oldest daughter, Charlotte, can't believe it. She said, Dad, you know they don't like me. Yeah, and you paying for that? I waited, we was at my daughter, I gave this waiter $100 tip. She didn't do shit. You should have saw her face. She followed me out to the car, apologized. She knew. We came in there, we went in, and they wouldn't serve us. The freaking restaurant was empty. We were standing outside. We had to call a corporate manager. Just this happened in McKinney, Texas. The restaurant, they were listening, well, y'all have more than, what did they say? You can't bring in balloons, and you couldn't bring in your own cake, and and then this one lady, I put it to the side and said, ma'am, I understand your corporate policy, but y'all need to make an exception, or you can find somebody who can make an exception. I didn't get rude, I didn't get angry, nothing. I just said, common sense. Y'all want to make money. So she said, well, we do have a section over here in the back, private, usually just for our employees. If y'all want to bring balloons and bring your own cake, because normally we don't let them, no problem, I'll take it. So we went over there, had my little granddaughter's birthday party. And the woman who killing people with kindness, I just refused to accept no. I just refused. We just sit there in the lobby. The guy came out and was like, I'm sorry, we can't do nothing for you. I said, okay. He said, here's our corporate card. Okay, no problem. We just sit there in the lobby. Then they called, and another guy came. Long story short, had the birthday party. What are you saying about? All I'm simply saying is I know who I am. If you don't know who you are, somebody else is going to tell you who you are, and you're going to believe them. I'm not going to allow nobody to tell me who I am. I know me better than anybody else. That's where you start. The process of making money starts with you loving you. The more you love yourself, the more money, the more relationship, the more happy, the more everything works. Because why? I got options. I don't know if y'all understand what that means. So let me make sure y'all understand. I am not in a place where I am thirsty. Even if I was in the desert, I would still never be in a place where I'm thirsty. Because thirst is a mental disposition. Mind trumps matter. The brain guaranteed, I've been doing it for a long time, you must be like. You cannot go find it and look for it. The brain always operates in quantum consciousness, like we talked about inside the private society of life. So the dominant culture knows that there is no such thing as things. They know that everything that you call a problem is just a very, very persistent illusion. Your job is to outlast the illusion. Like when I was in boot camp. So I'm doing push-ups and sit-ups. I know that we're on a schedule. The drill instructor says, guys, we're going to be doing push-ups and sit-ups all day. I know that's not possible. Everybody else was scared up. I know that you mean to tell me they're going to have 90 dudes waiting while I do push-ups and sit-ups all day? No, we got a class to go to, we got to go eat lunch, we got a schedule, we got classes. They're not going to put their entire Marine Corps schedule on hold while I do push-ups. So I just outlast that fool. Everybody else get all scared up, not me. I know that the Marine Corps did not pay me all that money to train me, and this fool was telling me he's going to send me home every day. And me and my brothers in boot camp, my brother was all scared up because he was buying it. I was like, hold up, why did they flew us all from Texas. We here, and we over here. The Marine Corps paid all of this money to turn us into Marines. We like 2 weeks away from graduating. This fool say he's going to drop us just because he don't like us. That nigga ain't got that authority. So I didn't care what he said. He tried to scare me up. Didn't work. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that the same way there is always a ram in the bush. So when you start a business, you got to be in a being state. The being state is that I am a beacon of light. If you ever get out of that state, you're in trouble. Because then I can gaslight you. I can come and blow smoke up your butt, and guess what? You're going to buy it. Why? Because you don't love yourself enough to understand that you deserve to be happy. You deserve to be wealthy. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to be valued. You deserve to be respected. You deserve everything that you are in pursuit of. The only way you don't get it is if you don't believe you don't deserve it. Period. The only way you don't get it is if you don't believe you deserve it. Because I'm going to treat you the way you treat yourself, because it's vibrational. You see, brothers and sisters, when you vibrate on that level, it must be matched or changed. Let me say it again. Where do you start? You start by vibrating on a level. Stay on that. Now, hell, high water, rain, sleet, snow, you're going to get tempted. And then you're going to say, well, come on down, bro. You know, it's not going to happen for you. You say, nope, thank you very much. I'm just going to sit there and wait. And guess what happens? You have to outweight your fears. Your job is to make sure that you over the night. Remember, first of all, don't go after something that you don't want. That's the number one mistake. So it's easy to quit because you don't really want it anyway. But if it's something that you really, really, really want, pretty much you got to be willing to live for it. Anybody's willing to die, but are you willing to put in the work? So you start by over understanding that I'm not broken. I don't need to be fixed. So I'm going to forgive myself for listening to my haters, to think that I needed to be skinnier, I need to be taller, I need to be lighter, I need to be darker, my hair needs to be longer, my hair needs to be shorter, my nose is too big, it's too small, my butt's too little, or it's too wide, or, you know, my chest ain't big enough. We've got all of these freaking problems because the dominant culture says, well, you know, you don't fit our image that we would like. Well, I might not be your cup of tea, but I'm somebody else's cup of tea. So everything starts with getting rid of the self-hate. Stop rejecting yourself. That's why everybody else is rejecting you. If you reject yourself, that gives me and everybody else the right to reject you. So you start building your audience. And where you start building your audience is you are your number one fan. If you are not your number one fan, boo-boo, oh, like, who else would I like to hear talk more than me? Answer, no one. If I'm going to read somebody's book, shit, I'm going to read my own book. If I'm going to listen to somebody's podcast, I'm going to listen to my own podcast. So if you music, you should be playing your own music in your car, riding around every day. If you're an artist, you should have your own pictures hanging up in your house. Nobody else's. You should have no damn Picasso in there. You should have, Adelina in the house. Whatever you are being, you should be being. The key to building an audience. Whatever you are being, you should be being. Whatever you are being, you sending it out. So whatever shit you send out, you should be. So don't be sending out something that you ain't being. I never told nobody that I'm a super health nut. So you gonna see me at Krispy Kreme Donuts, you say, damn, Doc, I thought Doc said no. I'm telling you what's good for you. I'm telling you I do detoxes. I clean shit out, but the reason I do detox, because I know I'm putting the trash in. Why? Because I like donuts. I ain't gonna live in a world with no donuts. Now, you can be a super health nut if you want to and just eat lettuce all day, every day. All right, that's you, dude. That's your frequency, bro. Don't hold me to your standard. You want to be super Christian? Just take your ass to church every day. When you get home, let me know. We can do the show. Until then, hey, I ain't going. You do you. So whatever it is that you're beaming, make sure you are being. That's your audience. Last but not least, once you get your audience, how do you keep your audience? When I say audience, not only am I talking about tribe, vibe, I'm also talking about thrive, money. Whatever amount of money, whether it's $1,000 a year or $1,000,000 a year or $100 million, it takes the same amount of effort to make 100,000 as it does to make 1,000,000. You guys know that? It takes the same amount of energy and effort to make $100,000 a year as it does to make $1,000,000 a year. The amount that you get is determined at the amount that you deserve in your head. If you believe that you're only worth 100,000, that's all you'll ever make. So you start by convincing yourself. How do you convince yourself? What I do, I remind myself of my past success. And everybody got it. Even if you won a spelling bee in third grade, you keep replaying that feeling. Damn, keep visualizing yourself in the third grade spelling soup or cat, C-A-T, and everybody started clapping and you won. Remember that feeling? Okay, feel that feeling. Don't lie to yourself. Don't fake it till you make it. No, find real life experiences that you've had. Everybody have had at least, especially in our age, everybody on this call can remember one time when you felt jovial. Shit, maybe it was your wedding day. Maybe it was the time you got your divorce. Maybe it was the time you got your new job. Everybody can remember at least one event where you felt magnanimous. So just replay that one event. If you like me, you got a plethora of them. Every day I just think about feeling like me when I had my $30,000 day. I think about when I did the product launch, I brought $30,000 in, and I'm like, shit, I've got a problem. If I made $30,000 one time, I can do it again. And guess what? Those feelings come back, that mental discipline come back, that vibe come back, the money comes back. Your job is to maintain that being state. That is a being state. You got to be the solution. The solution, however, is a step-by-step process to not only your problem, but everybody else's problem. What is mine? Mine is I found a way to find out what authentically loves me. What I mean that I don't know why it's easy for me to talk. Shit comes easy. It's easy for me to communicate with damn near anybody. I ain't really found out this people that may not listen, but I can talk. As y'all can tell, that's the three. And I'm very imaginative. And I'm very creative. And I'm very comedic. All of those are attributes and characteristics of the three. I don't have to go to a school for that. I ain't got to go to Walmart and buy it. I was born that way. So are you. So use it. Use the shit that God gave you, man. Why we got to reinvent the wheel? Why you got to go, I got to go learn this new, no, boo-boo. You ain't got to go learn nothing. Just be. People will pay you to be yourself. That's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But guess what? Well, I don't know, Doc. I don't like being me, man. You know, I don't think it's going to. Come on, man. We make shit hard. It's not. Once you fall in love with yourself, you elevate yourself. Then when you get on top, how you stay up there? Do you know the only way that you can fall is if you start to reach your press clipping? What does that mean? You see, you have to think, because everything is cyclical. But nobody says that the cycle has to drop all the way down to poverty and then all the way back up to wealth. So there can be a cycle at the top. There can be a cycle in the middle. There can be a cycle at the bottom. You determine the height and the depth of your cycle. I just chose to stay at the top. And I made my cycle, let's just say, top 300,000, the bottom 150,000. Some people, top could be 100,000, bottom could be 10,000. Then they go up to 100,000, then down to 10,000. 100,000, down to 10,000. Why not just say 100,000, 90,000, 100,000, 90,000, 100,000, 90,000? You get to choose your cycle. I just chose to stay at the top. So poverty for me is 200,000. So I'm not going to wait for to drop down to to 50,000 or 50,000. Let's say, $30,000. No. So what happens? Well, I'm looking at my revenue. When my revenue drops 1 month, no biggie. Second month, you look at your numbers. And you know, the month before that, and if you got like track and paper, they track all this for you. You just look at it and you can look at your graph, you see your charts. So then when you notice that, okay, last month, and then you can compare like PayPal, you can go back like 10 years. So I know the certain months are better than other months. So I'm not expecting doing a slow month, because remember I turned my stuff around, so September, October, November, December, those are my big months. I just went through my slow months. January, February, March are my slow months. Now I'm ramping up. June, July, August are okay. September, October, November is off the chain. Why? I set up that way. I used to be broke September, October, November. I made a decision to turn it around. What did I do? Focus, discipline, and order. To become successful, firm, fair, consistent. To stay successful, focus, discipline, and order. So what do I focus on? My numbers. What is my numbers? Mine? Everybody thinks it's business. When I say numbers, everybody say, oh, so you look at, your marketing, your sales. I look at my numbers. 3, 3, 6, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 9. Those are my life optimization numbers. Whenever I start to decline, I know that I'm not paying attention to what's mine. And it's okay. Because when you get successful, you start rewarding yourself and you start doing stuff like this. You start, like, so my schedule is all off. If I did the show today at, like, I'll never do no show at this late in the afternoon. I usually do my show around, like, 1, like 12, 1 o'clock. Then I do the night show, like at 7 or 8. I'm consistent. So what if I start moving titles around all the time, then all of a sudden I just stop doing shows, stop doing one-on-ones, stop doing dick reports? See, when you start making money, you have to be very cautious, because now you got to take care of all the toys and shit that you're buying with your money. I could be out there right now, polishing up my Corvette. Should go and ride by, look at the new house. Oh, let's check out the brick, check out all this stuff. You know what? I just spent like 3 days in Dallas partying. Now we're here for the next 3 or 4 days partying. I could just be, and then I could book another one, and another one, and another one, until by the time I wake up and come out of my party stage, I poured all my money out. But like everybody else is in the pool, the wife just got the credit card, went to the store, buying the food for the night. Where am I at? I'm in the room, go a lot, doing a show. Later on tonight, I'm going to be doing another show. Everybody's going to be downstairs watching the game and, playing backgammon, drinking, sitting out at the pool. See, even when I'm on vacation, because my vacation is my vocation. Yeah, the schedule changes a little bit, but let's not get it twisted, bro. I don't play with my paper. But it's not my paper. I don't play with my expression. See, my numbers are more important to me because they are me. I love my wife, however. I love my children, however. I love my granddaughters, however. I love my in-laws, however. I love me too. You see, brothers and sisters, once you love yourself, you learn the power of no. So, the wife, in-laws, the first thing that they ask me is, what time is your show? Because they all know. My show comes first. And they joke and they laugh on the ride over here. Like, oh, yeah. Brother, if you was driving, I'd be like, this is because my wife don't swim. And so they said, well, what happens if your wife is out there drowning and you're doing a show? I said, you better allow the dog pedal. Get out the show. You gotta jump in there and get her. Everybody, hee, ha, 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 ha. They didn't think it was funny. Sister Diane, I was serious though. You should not jump your ass in the pool if you know I'm doing a show. If you can't swim. Now, what I stop obviously, I would just tell you guys, hang on a minute. I'll be right back, y'all. Jump in, get out. You see, do a couple of hard compressions if I have to. Okay, you good? Okay, and then I go back to doing my show. Why? Because for 50 years of my life, I put other people first. And then I found out, Sister Cheryl, those same people probably would not return that same energy to me. Now, I give people the same energy they give me. You listen to that, Sister Addie? Sister Addie, you don't give no mother beep, 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 which I already know you know. Mother's here to remind you. You got a man, you got a woman. If all they got 10 minutes for you, shit, that's how you got 10 minutes for them. That's how you stay on top. Because when you get on top, you're going to notice you got a lot of friends. I mean, everybody loves me now. Oh, I can't do no wrong, Sister Eddie. They know, I think I can walk on water now. But it's funny. When I was broke, I was a sinner on my way to hell. J Money, I was about ready to bust hell wide open. They was having prayer visuals for me. Now, money's a strange thing, Brother Joseph. But Brother Joseph, I ain't forgot. Because guess what happened, Brother Joseph? With my money gone, all of a sudden I'm back to Satan's bitch now. Oh, pardon my French. That may be too rough for some of you guys. So, Sister Kid Walker, I know you know what I'm talking about. Now, let's not get it twisted now. They love me. I love them. Everything is good. But money has a way of changing people. As long as the money's good, you pay for everything. Oh, man. God is with you, my brother. It's like you and Jesus, one in one. When you stop paying for stuff, all of a sudden, they don't know you like they used to. Now, they still love you. But now you need to come to church now. Now you need to get saved. You need to get resaved. Now, I don't know about that. All I know is, even with my own kids, I love my kids, but they people. All I'm simply saying, brothers and sisters, if you get your pet rattlesnake, and your pet rattlesnake just happens to get out the state, out of his cage, and you come home and he bites you in the ass, don't get angry at the rattlesnake. You knew he was a rattlesnake when you bought him. So, if you build your life around a bunch of rattlesnakes, don't get surprised if you stop feeding them and that rattlesnake bites you in the ass. All I'm simply saying is, I don't trust people to be people. I trust people to be themselves. I am 1,000% okay with you being you, because I know you. I don't expect something out of someone that they don't possess. I make it my job to exercise discernment. And I know that every individual, what they're capable of, what they're not capable of. But I started with myself. So, Sister Carolina, I know my numbers are 336-123-123-549. So, Sister Carolina, there is no H in my numbers. So, if one of you guys is expecting me to be CEO of the year, you get a little angry and you get upset. Because you're like, damn, Doc ain't, I wish he was more organized. I wish he had a step-by-step, outline for each show. I wish he could mail me a program outline for the next 6 months. Nigga, that shit ain't gonna happen. Now, I may hire $1.8 million and have them do it, but I ain't doing it because it ain't in my repertoire. So I don't expect me to be something I'm not. Just like I do not expect Sister Cheryl West to do and be something that Sister Cheryl West is not. But I do expect Sister Cheryl to be Sister Cheryl. I do expect Sister Addie to be Sister Addie. So I know Sister Addie is an 11 too. I know she is a psychic. She did some shit on Mars. So if you trying to blow smoke up Sister Addie's butt, I'm gonna tell y'all firsthand, it ain't gonna work. Sister Addie gonna sniff your ass out. Now she may not say nothing, cause she's gonna bust you out, but trust and believe, she already know. Now you can fool everybody else, but you're not gonna fool Sister Addie. It is your job to know yourself and to love yourself. That is the hardest thing on earth to do. And I know I say it a lot. Tomorrow we'll be back on here, or later on tonight we'll be back here, I'll be saying the same shit. And that is, no se te sum. Know thyself. And accept yourself. Because Sister Zeta, when you love yourself, Sister Zeta, you look like you are 8 months pregnant. Ladies, y'all know how a woman glows like when she's pregnant? Everybody should have that pregnant glow. Because you should be pregnant with purpose. It is my understanding and it is my intent to ensure that everybody on this call is impregnated with purpose. That way you beam like a woman that's in her 3rd trimester because you're about ready to give birth to your purpose. That's the plan. So, brothers, I love you. I appreciate you. We'll see you by the tonight. God bless.